Hey, what's going on, everybody? So today we are going to be making pork butts, pulled pork. We're going to be making it on the big green egg, cooking it for about, I don't know, about 12 hours or so, probably about 5 hours in smoke, and then probably about another 6, 7 hours wrapped up in foil. And the reason being is because you don't want it too rich in smoke. You just want to get just enough smoke in there. So I got about 19 pounds here of pork butts. Um, so I got two whole pieces. When you buy a whole pork butt, it basically comes in um, two chunks, and we got the whole pork butt right here. It's bone in, because the bone's going to give it a lot more flavor. But I'm going to show you how I make my spice rub right now. We're going to make the spice rub, then we're going to rub these butts. You got to rub your butt really good and get all that spice in it. The fat cap was trimmed because spice rub does not stick to fat. So, and smoke that doesn't penetrate fat. So you have to trim your fat caps. I know the fat cap will leave it more moist, but trust me, there's enough fat in these butts to where these will, after 12 hours or so of cooking, these things will pull very nicely, pull apart very nicely, very tender. And so let's go ahead and make this spice rub. Alright guys, so for this spice rub, basically, I already have a lot of these spices ready to go. I like to grind my own spices. This here cumin powder, I ground that myself. Ground cumin, and I will probably do some more. Basically, it's going to be sea salt, ancho chili powder, which I did that myself too. I'll probably grind these chilies, that ancho chilies I ground myself. A little bit of jalapeno powder, some sweet Spanish paprika, garlic powder, and just a number of peppers, garlic, salt, some paprika. I don't have any smoked paprika, or else I'll probably throw some of that in there. I'm going to put a little bit of mustard powder in there, where it'll be really good. I'm going to show you when I rub this all together. I'll show you. I'm going to put all these spices into a big bowl. I'm going to have to grind a little bit more cumin because this is not enough. I mean, we got 19 pounds of meat, so we're going to need a lot of spices. A lot of this is already ground, but I'm going to need a little bit more than what I have sitting here. So I'll be right back, and I'll be rubbing these butts. Be right back. Hey everybody, so right now basically I'm putting all my spice mixtures into this bowl. This here is my jalapeno powder. Jalapeno powder is my favorite chili spice to rub with. But of course I like ancho, which I'm also putting in here. Basically this is a salty and spicy mixture. I really don't use much sugar. If I do use any sugar, I'll put a little bit of turbinado sugar just on the top, just to give it a nice glaze while it's cooking. But other than that, I really don't use much sweet in my rubs. Not a whole lot of sugar. And this is going to taste really, really good. So right now I have jalapeno powder, garlic powder, chili powder, ancho chili powder, and I'm about to put some of this paprika in there. And I'm about to put this cumin in there and mix it all together really well, and make sure it's all good and there's no real lumps in there. And so I'll just get everything mixed up, and I'll be right back. Hey guys, just to show you, here's my whole ancho chili peppers. I get most of my spices from My Spice Sage. I think they got the best quality spices, and like I said, I get most of them whole and grind them myself. You can grind them in a number of things. I use kind of a magic bullet type thing to grind my spices in. You can use a coffee grinder, but those are usually a lot smaller than what I like to use. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and grind a few more of these ancho chili peppers up because I don't think I had quite enough. So be back in a moment. All right, guys, we're back. The butcher didn't trim it up as nicely as I would like it to have been trimmed, but we're gonna just do it as this because I don't have a lot of time to waste trimming this pork butt. So what we are gonna do is we are gonna take our spice rub mixture that we made, and like I said before, this is basically salt, garlic powder, sweet paprika. I got a little bit of white pepper, ancho chili peppers. I got some garlic powder, onion powder, and it's basically a spicy and salty rub. And so we're gonna go ahead and rub this on this butt. Make sure you rub that butt good. You want to get them flavors all in that butt. So be back in a minute. All right, we're gonna rub this butt. Let's go ahead and be generous with that seasonings. If you don't have enough seasonings, we can always make more seasonings, more rub. But be generous with it. Rub it. This is a bone-in pork butt. I always get the bone-in. Gives you a little bit more flavor with that bone. And we're also gonna, in the cooking process, we're also gonna kind of spritz it with apple juice. And you don't really have to worry about a pork butt getting dried out because there's enough fat, enough moisture in here. You really don't have to be too concerned about it. But so we're just gonna rub this really good. Make sure all these nice spices stick to it. Let's flip this bad boy over. Yeah, we don't need that paper on it, that's for sure. All right. I'm gonna put this camera down so I can use the hand I'm holding it with to pour some more spice on there, so I don't use my porky hand on there. So I'll be right back. All right, we're back and still rubbing this butt. Get all that seasoning nicely incorporated evenly on there. Rub it nice, rub it on the sides. And after that, we're gonna heat up that big green egg and put it on there for a number of hours. Like I said, probably about a good 12 hours, about 5 hours, and smoke. All right, we're not gonna waste this, are we? Nope, we're gonna put this on the butt. Make sure we rub it good. Massage it, get it in there. Yeah, that's the way to do it. I mean, everybody can, have their own flavor profile that they like in their seasoning. That's why I make my own, because I don't like a lot of sugar in my spice rub. I just don't. I mean, if you want sugar, that's what the barbecue sauce is for. I'm not a big fan of barbecue sauce because I think that the rub and the smoke is where you're supposed to get all your real flavors from. Light on the barbecue sauce, if any. So there we go. I'm probably gonna let this sit for a couple hours, get it to room temperature, then throw it on the egg. So I'm probably not gonna put it on there probably for a couple hours yet, but I will show you the entire process when we're heating it up, getting it to temp. I'm probably gonna smoke it at about 250 degrees, maybe probably from anywhere between 225 to 250 is where I like smoking my pork butts. If you're making pulled pork, and that'll get it to the nice, soft, uh, easy to pull apart that you want to do. So slow, long and slow cook is the way I like to do it. And we're probably going to be smoking it with, I don't know what kind of wood I have, either apple or cherry wood, maybe a little bit of both. When you're doing poultry, I don't like to use a lot of hickory, but the lump charcoal that I have has hickory in it. But so apple wood and cherry wood is the way I like to go when smoking pork, chicken, poultry. So, all right, guys, see you in a few. All right, guys, well, it's that time to get this egg fired up. I'm gonna get this temp to 225 about, give or take a couple of degrees, and we're gonna get them pork butts on their way, and they're gonna smoke uncovered for about 5 hours. Right now it's almost 5 o'clock, and I want to get these on the smoker by 5 o'clock so I can wrap them up sooner. At then they'll continue smoking covered for about 6-7 hours. So be back once this thing gets fired up. Hey guys, this fire's starting to go good. This is how I like to do my fire, with this electric starter. It'll be a really good fire. It only takes about 5 minutes or so. So yeah, but as soon as I get this up to temp, I will be right back. And this is what I'm going to be using: some apple wood and cherry wood. One thing I forgot to mention is I like to get this thing going for at least about an hour, because all this white smoke, that's no good. You don't want this white smoke. You want thin blue smoke, or smoke that you can barely see. And when we're trying to get this thing to cook slow, about 200, or low, about 225 degrees, we have to regulate the temperature on this green egg by the 2 vents. This one here, and there's also one on the top. This goes on the top, and you got to regulate it by turning these. And that's how you get it to either a high temp. The more that these vents are open, you'll get more airflow, and therefore you'll get a higher temperature. The more you got it shut, the less airflow and the lower the temp will be. So that's how we're gonna cook it nice and long, and a slow cook. All right, everybody, the temp is at 250, which is okay, not bad. I mean, once we get everything in there, the temp's gonna probably come down, a few degrees. So 250 is fine. Here's my apple juice. I'm gonna put some apple juice in a couple of pans and put them on top of my place setter, so that we have more moisture. I'll show you what it looks like. I'm gonna put the wood on the coals, on the charcoal, and the apple wood and the cherry wood, and go from there. I'll show you what everything looks like once I have everything inside. Be right back. Alright guys, pork is on. Let me give you a little sneak peek as to what it looks like. There it is. This is the last time I'm going to open this up. Apple juice, to give it a little bit more moisture and flavor, is in those tins right underneath each of those pork butts. Wood is in there, apple and cherry wood. So now we just have to keep this shut, get it back up to temp. Now that we have all the food, the apple juice, and everything inside the we gotta get it back up to temp by adjusting these vents to regulate the airflow. Even though it was up to 220 or 250 degrees, once you put more stuff in there, the temperature is gonna be a lot colder. So we have to regulate this once again, get it back up to temp. And next time you see this, we will be wrapping it in foil. Once it's wrapped in foil, got about 6-7 hours to go, and we will be pulling this pork apart and almost ready to eat. So, see you in a little while. Hey everybody, one thing I forgot to mention is I do not soak my wood chips in water because I don't like that taste of wet wood. Now you will get more smoke by soaking your chips, and a lot of people advise you to wet or soak your chips for an hour or so. I don't do that because I don't like the taste of damp wood tasting food. So I don't soak mine. I put them in there dry, and you will get less smoke. But I think you'll get a longer smoke because they're not going to go up and But so that's my opinion. I do not soak my chips. I like to put them in there dry. I don't like the taste of wet wood. So just wanted to pass that on to you guys. All right. See you in a little while. Hey everyone. So we've been on here for about an hour and a half. Temperature's at 250, and that should be where it stays for the remainder of the cook. As much as you would want to open that up and take a look and everything, it's best that you just keep it shut because you don't want to change the temperature inside the egg. So we'll keep it shut. Should stay around 250 until around right now, I don't know, it's 8 o'clock. By 11 o'clock I'll probably take them out, wrap them in foil, and put them back in there for the remainder of the cook. So alright, talk to you guys later. Hey everybody, so it's a quarter to midnight, quarter to 12, and I just wrapped it. What I ended up doing was putting it in a pan like that, putting the foil over the top so it is no longer in smoke, and it's gonna be probably about another 5 to 6 more hours, and then I will take it out, let it rest for about an hour, and then start pulling it apart. So alright everybody, see you in a bit. Alright guys, here is the finished product. Yeah, look at that. There you have it. I'm gonna let this cool down for about an hour or so before I really start pulling it apart. It's gotta cool down. And there you have it. Pulled pork after 12 hours. Alright everybody, there it is, the finished product, all pulled apart, nicely shredded, very tender, juicy. I might do a picture or two afterwards of it on the buns. But anyway, thanks a lot everybody for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to everybody on my next video.